It's far easier to forgive an enemy after you've gone even with him, by Miller. I agree with this quote because it does seem easier once you kind of like, I guess, gotten even with somebody that is an enemy. And one example was when I was in junior high after school. So I was walking back home and some guy just threw a rock at me. I didn't really know who he was, but I saw him around at school, and since he had thrown a rock at me, I just ran over and I kicked his ass. And the next day, like I had seen him around, and when I was walking back home, and he was walking on the other side of the street, so he kind of really didn't look at me, and I guess I kind of felt good knowing that that I'd gone even with him because he threw a rock at me. Another example was when I was in high school. I used to wrestle, and there was this guy. There was this guy that really didn't guess he didn't like me, but he was also on the wrestling team, and when on one of the practices it was me and him, and I just kept kind of trying to beat him just so that he could kind of have more respect for me or whatever. That's the reason why I agree with this quote.
I was just like, okay, what the fuck?
I'm about to hurt his feet before I went out there.
Oh Lord.
I'm so confused.
I focused my attention on it, but I just like started eating like.
When you mentioned it, how you guys my father let somebody that happened to me.
The problem is that
I live in La Habra, bro.
every now and then I see a fight.
Well, Berwyn and Mama is like the only bad thing.
When I was talking about the kids, I remember one time my brother got in a fight and he got like a black eye. Like I told me, like I told him. Did you win? Like, yeah, your ass. And like, and then my friend sent me a message like, look at your brother getting his ass kicked. And I was like, he's like, you got the wrong angle. If you would have seen it from the other angle, you would have seen that I was clearly beating his ass.
I was gonna say it's all moving, but literally all moving.
Hey, and then you get your brother's ass.
They're horrible people.
That's the only time I think of when someone gets their ass.
I don't get my shit hurt anymore.
I said my brother was one of the like
Oh, exactly. There you go.
We started crying because we were with a bunch of friends.
These guys don't care about us.
Wrestlers don't
We all knew we just were loud.
All right, we start with the quote. That's probably not the best way to get going, but we do know what your point of view is pretty clearly at the beginning of the speech. There's not really a preview of what the supporting material is going to be. You just dive in with your examples. I thought you had a couple of good examples. They're a little bit repetitive of each other, but the first one does kind of explain how you would feel in that particular situation and why it's so gratifying to get back at somebody else, and that made sense. The second one felt a little bit incomplete, but it basically is repeating the concept of the first one as well. So that's about as far as you go with the topic, making your point in a couple of ways. It was okay. It was satisfactory. I think it could be a little bit stronger, and you'll probably think of some better things that you could have said in the next 10 minutes. That always happens once people sit down. They start thinking thinking about something else. It'll pop into your head as you're going along. On presentation issues, your voice projects pretty well. There's pretty good variety there. It's not always flowing smoothly. There are a couple of odd hesitancies and places where it seems like you are a little uncertain as to where you're going next. Your gestures are a little bit limited, but there was nothing too distracting about them. Your facial expressions, look, you're smiling the whole time you're speaking, but sometimes it comes across as a nervous smile because you're not really changing the expression to reflect the things that you're talking about. So I think if you want to give a stronger impression that you're in control and that the emotions that you're reflecting are reflective of those particular experiences, you need to work on altering the smile a little bit and that sort of thing. Your eye contact is not very good. You tend to look down most of the time that you're speaking. You only look up occasionally, and so there's inconsistency there. I thought you finished abruptly, but you did come back to the point that you were trying to make in the speech, and that is definitely the best thing to do. Make sure that you remind people what the point was that you were trying to make at the end of the presentation. All right, thank you.